Hetapu, Assalamu alaikum, Namaste, Haru Nefer. This is Qesankh Kiparu with another exciting video for you. In this video, we're going to talk about the Tehuti meditation for supreme wisdom. But before I do that, I'd like you to hit the like button on this video. This is your first time on my channel. Welcome. Hit the subscribe button to get notifications on when I go live and when I upload recorded videos. Also, I do have free ebooks for you. If you're looking to get more into my spiritual teachings, just scroll down below. You'll see some links. Click on them. You can download those ebooks and start reading them today. And if you're looking to take your spiritual knowledge even further, you can become a Patreon supporter for as little as $1, $5, or $20 per month. It's up to you. You can cancel it anytime. You'll get access to instructional videos on how to meditate, how to do proper breathing exercises, how to invoke spirits, how to contact the ancestors, and how to do self-hypnosis to curb any negative habits such as overeating or smoking, what have you. So become a Patreon supporter today. Last but not least, share this video with family and friends so we can get the revolution started. So Haru Nefer, I wanted to show you two techniques for a Tehuti meditation. But first off, let's explore the deity, the Kemetic Egyptian deity, Tehuti, also known as Hermes Trismegistus. Tehuti is the god of wisdom. He is a scribe. In the Hall of Ma'ati, the book of coming forth by day and by night, the book of the dead, when you go to the Hall of Ma'ati to do your 42 negative confessions, you are confronted by Ma'at, Oseir, and Tehuti, who is the record keeper of what you have done in your past life, and he makes the soul contract with you on what you'll do in the next life. But we must keep in mind that Tehuti is an important faculty that exists within you. It is that faculty of wisdom. Tehuti's complement is Sebek. Sebek is the god of logic, the god of facts. So Sebek deals with verbal communication. Sebek deals with facts, names, labels, and definitions, and he's very, very good at that. In fact, Sebek is known as being cunning. Sebek is very informed. He deals with information. He deals with worldly knowledge, book knowledge. He studies. He loves to acquire new information. But we must understand that Sebek is on the lower trigram, or the lower half of the tree of life, where Tehuti is on the upper level of the tree of life, because Tehuti is wisdom. And wisdom is the ability to reconcile all opposites. In our society today, we're faced with a lot of things that are challenging. For example, like people are curious to know, is abortion okay? Is being gay or transgender okay? And how do you reconcile these things? Well, if you use your logical mind, that Sebek faculty, which is the left brain, you can't determine what truth is, because truth is relational. Okay, but truth is the realm of Tehuti, and Tehuti's mate is Ma'at, goddess of truth, justice, and righteousness, balance, reciprocity. So if we want to know how to reconcile these opposites, these difficulties, for example, church and state, should they be separated? Should they be married? Who knows? Well, we have to go to Tehuti, because it was in the story of Asar and Aset that it is said that Tehuti's greatest feat was to make the two combatant brothers go home in peace. So he was able to rectify the conflict that Haru had with Set, who was looked at as an evil deity. But really, he was actually our lower emotions, our animal nature that Haru had to subdue, or Horus had to subdue. So when you're tapping into Tehuti's knowledge and wisdom, you can rest assured that you're communicating with God's infinite wisdom, or we can also call that the Akashic records, the storehouse of the knowledge of the universe. See, God solves problems without creating other problems in their wake. We in this Western society has elevated the left brain, and more importantly, we have idolized cunningness, trickery. We think that that is the epitome or the height of intelligence, which it is not. And Sebek, we must keep in mind, can be divorced of morality. So Sebek can be your Gordon Geckos, your Wall Street wizards that are very good at predicting the stocks, but will also rob your 401ks and think nothing of it. So we have to have some morality in what we're doing. And we have to keep that in mind, that there is a very big difference between facts, which is sebek, and truth, which is Tehuti. Now, when you are confronted with a problem and you need a solution, doing a Tahuti meditation is one of the best things you can do. You see, where sebek is verbal communication, and sebek is thoughts, lots of thoughts and thinking, because when you think, you're actually saying you don't know. Tahuti knows, you see. A Tahuti is a very, very experienced person in a particular field, or a sage. In fact, let's go to the Medunatir Volume 1 to really explore what Tahuti is. Tahuti corresponds to sages, prophets, and through the principle of relativity, to judges, very experienced lawyers, theoretical scientists, theoreticians, theologians, bankers, merchants, upper echelon priests and priestesses, fortune hunters, officials, experts in a particular field, teachers at the highest levels. That is what Tahuti is all about. And in ancient China, people who were Tehuti, sages, were venerated. They were held in such high regard, while in today's world, we hold those who have that very intellectual capacity of sebek in high regards, and they end up doing all types of wayward, backwards things to our society. When we look at the medicine, the pharmaceutical industry, they're very much based on sebek. They solve one problem, but the medicine also has these side effects which could kill you. Whereas we look at holistic medicine, homeopathy, that's based on Tehuti, holistic, where it will solve a problem but won't create more in its wake. So let us go into this brief demonstration of a Tehuti meditation. And as I said, I'm going to show you 2 techniques. And this is important when you have to come up with a solution. Many of the great scientists of our past, Imhotep, Einstein, Nikola Tesla, were able to make use of the eureka faculty. That means they were able to come up with these inspiration or these ideas out of thin air, which gave us great inventions. And that's Tehuti. And I'm going to show you how you can tap into that. The first Tehuti technique is the absence of all thoughts. Remember, thinking is sebek, so we don't want to think. Now, what we need to do is do a basic meditation posture where you're sitting, your palms are placed over your lap, and your back is straight, and you're looking forward. Now, you would close your eyes. If you're wearing glasses, you would remove them. If you have anything in your mouth like gum or anything, take that out. And you would simply breathe in through your nose while contracting your belly, and then breathe out through your mouth while expanding your belly. This is called pot belly breathing. So it's in through the nose, out through the mouth. And while we're doing this, we will eliminate all thoughts. But here's the most important thing. Before you do this meditation, you pose a question. Now, what I didn't mention earlier is that Tehuti also corresponds to the oracle. Tehuti is the mouthpiece, or the word of God, or the word of Osir. Tehuti speaks for Osir. All right. So you're tapping into the wisdom faculty by the absence of thoughts and by posing a question before you go into meditation. And while you're in meditation, you don't have to continually think about the question because it's already out there. So let us say, for example, I'm not sure if I should invest in something. Should I or shouldn't I? Or should I purchase this home? So I pose that question, and then I go into the meditation. And then I'm breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, contracting the belly, expanding it. And I clear my mind of all thoughts. And I do this for a period of 10 to 15 minutes, thinking of nothing. Now, I know this may be difficult for some people because we live in a microwave society where things are quick, fast, and everybody has attention deficit disorder. But the more you practice, the better you'll become, to a point where you won't have thoughts coming and going, that your mind will be totally cleansed of all thoughts. However, if you find you're still having trouble, one great way to do this is to focus your concentration on the breath, counting how many times you breathe in and how many times you breathe out. And you keep continually counting through the meditation. And what this does is place the focus of your thoughts on the counting of the breath and nothing else, such as the kids, the job, traffic, or anything of that nature. But the point of the 2D meditation is to get to a point to where you're not even counting, where there's just an absence of thoughts. And when you're doing that and you're just breathing in and breathing out, you're accessing God's storehouse of wisdom. And what you'll find is after you do this meditation, maybe directly after it, a couple hours later, a couple of days later, the answer to your question will come to you out of the blue. It will be a eureka moment. It's like you're going to be hit with a bolt of lightning with the answer. You're going to be like, wow, that's the answer. I know. And that's how many of the scientists, as I spoke about before, were able to solve the problems that they have with their inventions or come up with new inventions, okay? So that is the first technique for the Tehuti meditation. The second technique is making use of Tehuti's mantra, which is hum, hum, hum. This mantra or hakal does not have a meaning. It is just meant to be a vibrational frequency. And what it does is it nullifies the thought process. It clears the mind of all thoughts and thinking. It actually slows down the thinking process. So when you're in meditation, you're going to do just exactly what you did before. Hands, palms down on your lap, back straight. That is the Jajet. If you look at the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics or Metuneta, they have the pillow. It's the jet, and that's the spine. So your spine should be erect. And you're looking for it, close your eyes, and you breathe in and breathe out through the mouth, and mentally reciting the mantra. Now you're going to put in front of the mantra, Om, Om, and that is the Osir mantra, but it's also the mantra where Neter, God, created all that there is, the first utterance, the first vibrational sound. So we're meditating, clearing our thoughts, and then reciting mentally the mantra, Om, Hum, Om, Hum. Now, you're also free to say this verbally. If you want to sit down and verbally enunciate this, that is perfectly fine. But the best way to do it is just mentally, sitting down, breathing in, breathing out, chanting Om, Hum, Om, Hum. Remember, before we do this, we're posing the question. Whatever it is that's vexing us, we pose that question, and then we go right into meditation, and we do it for a period of 10 to 15 minutes. And as you become more proficient, you can do this 30 minutes or even an hour. Now, the important thing is after you do the meditation, don't think of the question anymore. Release it to the universe. You're going to find that it's like a boomerang. It's going to come right back to you with the answer. So you don't have to keep pondering it. You know what I mean? Another technique that's very useful is before you go to sleep, think of the question and then just fall asleep. And typically what will happen is in the morning or during that day, the next day, the answer will just come to you out of the blue. And that's what Tehuti is all about. Remember, Sebek is very useful because Sebek is the left brain, but Sebek is thinking. And the reason you think because you don't know, Tehuti knows. Tehuti has divine wisdom. Tehuti can solve problems and solve issues and create a better society for us all if we tap into Tehuti's wisdom. And there are just some things that the left brain is not correctly structured to answer or deal with. And one of them is morality. You know, that you have to go to the Tehuti faculty, God's wisdom, to get the truth of the matter. And this is why many Western religions have issues, because they're not able to answer questions, and they do so in a very broad, general way that the answer needs to be applied to everyone. Well, Tehuti was the inspiration for the Tao, the Chinese Tao, meaning the way. And the way is specific to you, meaning Tehuti gives you specific advice through the oracles. It's not a one-size-fits-all cookie-cutter system. Is this advice looks, and remember I said Tehuti is relational. It looks at your situation, and then it gives you advice based on your specific information and not just general rules or 10 commandments that everyone must follow, because life does not work that way. So I hope this meditation has helped you. Try it out when you are in need of an answer or a solution to something. And the fallback mechanism always is go to the oracle, get an oracle reading, because that can definitely help you. But the idea is to elevate yourself as a magician, as a magi or initiate in training, to where you can just sit down, do the meditation, and receive divine insight. And while I'm on that, I want you to know and understand that we all are cut from the same cloth. No one is special. So I don't want you to think that it takes a certain prophet or an anointed person to receive the word of God. We all have within us the Tehuti faculty. We all have that connection to the divine God, the divine he, she. So we all can receive guidance. This is not for any special person to hear the voice of God. We all are a receiver for that. So I want to thank you for tuning into this broadcast. This is Qesankh, son of Ma'at and Tehuti. My aunt is the beautiful goddess Heteru. Until my next video, Amen Ra.